Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Esau McCauley podcast. I'm your host, Esau McCauley. We're joined by our producer, Mike.
Hey, Esau.
It's great to have you on the podcast.
Great
and
to
we
be
have
here.
this week Nancy French, New York Times bestselling author, amazing writer, great person, a cool hang, world pickleball champion. I don't know what else to call you. Is that pickleball? Have you won any pickleball tournaments?
No, I've never even played in pickleball. I've run a game though.
Okay. Do you have an overall winning record against David, your husband? Like, if there's if you did a lifetime record, who's ahead there?
I don't know. Esau, I think he might be. He's actually better than I am. And he hits so hard.
Yeah.
He's actually, I don't enjoy necessarily playing with him because he's hard. He's a hard hitter.
Okay, then we will say the people's pickleball champion.
Yeah.
Pickleball champion, Nancy French. Now, I want to let you all know, because I wanted to start the podcast. We have some important issues we need to talk about politically, culturally, and these other things. But a lot of times on the podcast, Mike invites himself to events in my life, and I often say that I'm busy.
You do.
But this weekend, there was a Cubs baseball game that I went to, and I found, I thought to myself, you know what? Let me invite Mike to the podcast, to the baseball game, so that we could begin to develop some out of workplace relationships. And Mike told me no, y'all. I got ghosted by my own producer. Okay, go ahead.
Objection. I have some questions for the witness.
Okay, ask your questions.
When did the invite come, Esau?
I think it was Friday.
Friday, and when was the game?
Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. So 24 hours notice. Nancy, you're going to be the judge on who gets
24 hours notice.
Okay. Were there extra tickets for us to use?
Were there extra tickets that I had in my possession?
Yeah.
No, but there were tickets in the general area.
Okay. Did you tell me? Did you tell me where exactly you were sitting?
I told him I was going to be near third base. So you could buy. I could have had you said more. Had you had more interest, you could have gone. But you didn't. So you said no.
So to be clear, Nancy, he gave me 24 hours notice.
Yes.
I have 3 young kids.
Yes.
We got to find a babysitter.
Yes.
He did not tell me where.
Yes.
It was just go to the Cubs website and just buy tickets kind of close. I'm sure you can find some in the same section. I don't actually want to sit by you, Mike.
I texted Nancy to see if she was available. If her and Dave were available. So you were like the third or fourth.
Yeah,
exactly. I was 3 couples in by the time
I don't think this counts as a fair
I feel like
invite.
It doesn't matter when you get called up. It's like when your opportunity comes, you got to take the moment. And you said no. So who knows the next time 3 different couples are going to say no to me first before I get to you. So next time you got to stay ready. You got to get ready. Nancy, I didn't tell him that there were 3 other couples before him and his wife. That's still a legitimate invite, isn't it, Nancy?
No, this is the worst invite I've ever heard.
Thank you, Nancy.
So I didn't even understand how terrible this invitation was. It's because Esau texted me and he asked me to go to the Cubs game, and David was already going with his friends from Nashville. So I really, with deep regret in my heart, had to say no.
Yeah.
But now I realize he didn't even have tickets even remotely near him.
No. It was an invitation to go buy Cubs tickets and be in the same stadium as him.
I mean,
to see his really fancy seats, because I was going to sit in the bleachers, but I could see Esau's head down there.
Yeah, he was in the box,
That's
right?
bonding.
I mean, hanging out with all the rich people. Yeah, I'm sure that's where he was.
Forgive me. I apologize. The next time, I will buy some extra tickets, and then I will invite the Frenches. And if the Frenches say no, then I will invite you and your wife. Is that fair? You've now moved up to second on my list.
This is not good.
Second on the list. Okay. First thing I want to talk about on the show today, I was looking at something on the internet, because this is where we find most of our stories. And it was just it's one of those headlines where you had me at the headline. It says, World War II vet and TikTok star dies at I think it was 90-something years old.
Yeah.
And so the thing that struck me about it is okay, he's the guy who was there. Was he at Normandy Beach?
He was.
He's 102 years old.
102, Jake Larson, D-Day veteran and TikTok star.
Dies at 102 years old. And it struck me as something particularly relevant to the modern moment that you have to add TikTok star to storming Normandy Beach. For me, I felt like if you storm Normandy Beach and you die at 102, you should already be newsworthy. But they felt like they needed to maybe add to his repertoire by saying not only did he storm, Normandy Beach and potentially save the world, he also talked about it on TikTok. So am I being too critical of not him, thank you for your service, sir, and thank you for your TikTok. So I don't want his family to yell at me. I'm serious. I respect what he did.
Yeah.
But do you think that I was taken aback by the fact they needed to chase that with TikTok?
All right. So my take on this is like, as a producer who's constantly trying to come up with headlines and topics to get people to actually click on our stuff.
Yeah.
World War II vet dies isn't like, no, that probably happens every day. That's not unique. That's not
stormed
appealing.
Normandy Beach.
Yeah, so did thousands of others. And I don't know. I've heard that story. There aren't many World War II vets and TikTok stars. But that gets my attention.
What did TikTok add to the actual thing that he did?
But it made it known to a modern context in 2025.
Nancy, do you think that we need to accomplish things, which I think is sufficiently important, or do we need to tell the world about it on TikTok to be seen as worthy of public acclaim?
Okay, so I think you're being judgy on this, and here's why.
Man, 2 for 2. We got to have Nancy every week.
Nancy on the other side of this. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because here's my thing. Okay, when David came home from war, my husband, David French, joined the Army after 9/11 and went to Iraq and came home after a year. And he said one of the sentiments that he shared with his friends was that he had already done the most important thing that he'd ever do for the rest of his life.
Yes.
And, he was, 40 or less than 40. And so you sort of have this sense of, okay, now am I just going to go and, just have a normal job? And, this is behind you. And a lot of times this gentleman who was 102 when he died, he was probably 15 when all of this happened. Yeah. And I think it's so beautiful because what he did was he was able to go into the next part of his life is not equal to what he did when he was a teenager, but he shared this information to young Americans because young Americans are on TikTok, regrettably.
Yes.
But he spread this message of being heroic and selfless and that patriotism is important to millions of people. And that's great.
So maybe, let me be clear. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have been on TikTok. I think it's important to kind of share the stuff in the medium that you have that you have in front of you. I think calling him a TikTok star is strong to say it diminishes. Like Storm Normandy Beach to me feels like it should be in the headline and maybe in the subheadline. He shared about it on TikTok. I just think. Okay, now put it this way, and I said this before. If you have someone who a historical figure, right? Let's just say, for example, you could think of someone on your own context. What is a historical figure who did something significant that it would be increased in importance if you added and he was on TikTok? So let's say, for example, Martin Luther King, civil rights leader, who led to the Montgomery bus boycott, who did these things, and TikTok star.
Oh, well, now I'm intrigued.
40 years later, assuming he had lived, he went on TikTok and told stories about leading the bus boycott. You got to go, no. There's a sense in which the importance of the issue itself ought to stand. And there's another part that I want to say, forgive me if I'm being, there's a certain lightness to TikTok. Like it's kind of the vibe is kind of not as heavy. And so this making someone or defining someone's contributions by labeling a TikTok star diminish what is actually going on in their actual lives.
I don't think anyone would argue that TikTok star was more important than World War II vet. Or it's what makes him unique in 2025.
So who's your favorite historical figure?
All right, so I had one for this.
Okay, go ahead.
I've got one here. Okay. All right, ready? Yeah. Winner of 6 NBA championships, 6 finals MVP, 5 regular season MVP awards, defensive player of the year, 10 scoring titles, and who anyone with half a brain would say is the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan.
And TikTok star.
And if Michael Jordan were to make a TikTok now, I think he should just spend the whole time making fun of LeBron, showing all of these like terrible LeBron games when he chokes in the playoffs. So
you know something. We let you on the podcast, Mike.
Mike's trying to lose us.
Yeah.
Are you a LeBron fan too, Nancy?
Thank you. That's why do you think? Gosh. We let you on the podcast, and the first thing that you do is you yell at LeBron. Do you have a historical figure who you think of who will be improved by having a TikTok career?
Oh, definitely. Okay. You know who I want to see on TikTok?
Who do you want to see on TikTok? Are they alive or dead? Are they alive or dead?
Dead as a doornail.
Okay, dead as a doornail. Okay.
Okay, think about how awesome this person's TikTok would be. Okay. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
The Apostle Paul.
Oh, Paul.
That would be so insane.
Yeah,
he would be saying all kinds of controversial stuff.
Paul
would get canceled.
Paul would definitely go viral. Especially like, can you imagine the TikTok of Paul recounting his beef with Peter, and like he's saying like, this is what happened, and then he's like jump cut to like the previous scene. Anyways, all that to say is you if you want to diminish our veterans and our historical figures by slapping social media influencers on their bio, I won't stop you. But speaking of social media, and this one probably isn't as silly as some people have made it. Have you all been paying attention to the couple? What was the name of the company they were part of?
Astronomy.
So for those of you who were somehow avoiding the internet this weekend, there was a Coldplay concert, which I would never go to. No shade. I'm not going to take a shot at Coldplay. Leave that to the side. There was a Coldplay concert. And at the Coldplay concert, they have these kiss cams or whatever. They go to it. And it goes to a couple. And immediately you see the couple and they duck.
Yes.
As soon as the camera comes onto them. And the lead singer of Coldplay actually says, either these people are shy or they're having an affair.
And it was obvious to everyone. It was definitely affair.
It became obvious once the news came out.
Even in the moment, if you're shy, you don't hit the floor.
I guess you're right. It was clear. Now, most of what happened over the course of this weekend is that this was turned into a meme. If they had a Coldplay cam at a baseball game where couples who were actually married, when they cut to them, they were doing the whole duck thing, and it was just everywhere. And they started to have memes of different people who were in the same kind of idea, and we treated it as funny. But maybe I've just been married for like long enough, and I've seen people whose marriages have actually been hurt by infidelity, that this kind of made me sad. Am I once again being the spoil sport like I was with the TikTok thing? Or do you think there's a little bit more emotional complexity to the tragedy that unfolded when we saw these two people get caught cheating in front of the entire world? Nancy, am I being too serious, or am I allowed, or should we be laughing or giggling a little bit?
Well, I think you need to embrace the power of both and.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. I think that, for a long time, everyone on the internet or everyone who's like polices our cultural responses to things, they always say, this is not funny.
Okay.
This is definitely not funny.
I'll become the not funny guy. Okay.
Don't be the not funny guy.
Okay.
And here, because here's the thing. Okay. It was funny.
It was funny.
Okay. So I just feel like, I think that you can't and there's so many layers of irony on it, there's she was the head of HR, which means that she's been probably, tisk-tisking people from having romantic affairs in the office. You've got the CEO, and they're having this affair. So there's so many layers of irony. And wait a minute,
did you see that the third person in the video, have you seen this?
No, I don't know if
that's true.
I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
The third person also works in HR and was recently promoted.
Yes.
I thought I saw that was debunked.
That's debunked. Okay, sorry. True. This is what happens when you glance at memes.
Yeah, it is crazy how much misinformation has come out of this. Yes. He also, there was an apology letter he supposedly wrote. He didn't actually write that. No, he didn't write that.
Oh, I thought he was really sorry.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so, but Nancy, I'm going to push back. I'm going to take Esau's side on this one.
I want to hear it. She said it was funny initially, and then
so the both and part of it was, like when you're in church and there's like the one thing that you're not supposed to laugh at, and then it becomes funny and funnier, and then you get in trouble and your mom smacks you or something. So I just thought it was hilarious because they responded so in such an over the top manner. It was insane, and it shows you what shame does. They knew completely that they were doing. They were not in the right. But So I just think there's something about it that was. All of those ironic things, like when you see it, you're just like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Now, the second part of it is obviously the human carnage that exists because of infidelity. And that happens across America every day in such a terrible way. And most people are not caught in this way. And I think, go ahead.
No, I think that the thing that you said that was interesting, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I don't want to lose that point that you made. I didn't think about the quick turn from, and this is I want to talk about not just them, human sin, that they were so happy Like when you see that, like when it cuts to them and they're smiling and they're swaying, it was like so much genuine affection. And the moment they realize what is actually happening, you see in real time people recognizing the consequences of their behavior, and all of that joy kind of evaporates. Now, we don't all have that moment where it is that sharp, but I do think there's this sense in which we can so deceive ourselves when we're engaging in behavior that we shouldn't, that we don't think of the consequences until they hit us in real time. So that's a spiritual lesson from it in the context of the comedy. So keep going though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and also I think people are so sick of like people getting away with stuff. Like, and like Esau, you said, all of these people whose families have been decimated because of infidelity. That's true. But how many people do you know whose families have been decimated by infidelity and you can't ever catch the guy?
Yeah.
Or you can't ever catch the girl.
Yeah.
And so you're just like, oh my gosh, there was just this one moment and it just so happened to have this like cultural zeitgeist moment where it's a CEO of a corporation and everybody's
HR.
mad at CEOs and everyone's mad at HR people, understandably, sort of, but not really. It's like these are just humans. But there was just something about it in a moment in our culture where it feels like you cannot get accountability for the most egregious things.
Yeah.
There was just this one little moment. It was 30 seconds of accountability where you had clarity.
Yeah.
And everyone agreed about it.
Yeah.
So it's not mocking the poor. I mean, a lot of people have mocked these family members and I'm sure that the wife is going through HE double hockey sticks. So it's not to denigrate.
I like
what
the
they're
double
actually
hockey
going
sticks.
through.
That was old school.
Like
I like the double hockey sticks. So one of the things that was interesting about what you said is there is a sense, and maybe this is where I do feel some sympathy, is that we are a people that are just angry. And we do see the injustices and the people with money. And for whatever reason, these people became the outlet for all of our frustrations with moneyed people in the world. And maybe that's the part where I feel like, okay, you're right. We can't get the CEO of our business who fired us and did all these other things. And so here's someone who we all agree that we can be mad at. And that's what felt like it was not simply about them. It was an opportunity for us to express our frustrations. And that's the part that I felt a little bit worried about. Is that unfair?
I don't think that's unfair. I think I agree with a lot of what both of you are saying. And I just keep thinking like, this is everywhere in my algorithms and it has to be everywhere in those poor spouses' algorithms
and kids.
As well. And kids. And it's like, yes, it's fun. Like Nancy, you're totally right. It is funny. It's straight out of an Office episode. I mean, you could see this storyline in there.
Can I be honest? I'm not that saved. I try to be sanctified. My first response was laughter.
Oh, for sure. Mine
and then
was
it hit
too.
me like about, oh man, that's going to be rough for the kids.
And it's like, where is the line though of like, okay, now it's like the Phillies are doing this at their baseball game. Like, there's going to be merch. This is going, like merch. SNL is going to spoof this when they come back on. And like, where is the line that we take someone else's pain for our own entertainment and when is enough enough?
Let me think. Let me ask you this question. I had this sentence in my head as I was going through, and this is when I was like knee deep into like the moralizing side of me after the giggles had come out, and I kept saying this thing: love is a battlefield. Because like every day I wake up and you read and you see stories of people, and I understand, listen, this is not me talking like negative about people who are divorced or relationships. I'm not doing that part. I'm just saying so often you're bombarded with failure, the failure relationship. You see, you have people around you who are hurting. And I sometimes feel like me and my wife are like walking through this landmine, trying not to step on like one of these, step on a landmine. And when I see another couple, even if I never knew them, if I see another casualty in this war, I kind of feel sad. Because I want to believe that it's possible for us to get from one end of this thing to the other. And there's something that I think that is lost in our culture when we have just another moment that feeds into the cynicism that nobody makes it to the end. And so yes, me and my wife, I sent it to her and then I said, love is a battlefield. And it sounds like silly, but that's what I feel. I feel like I wake up every day and I hear about somebody else's pain. And that's the part of me. Maybe it could be, and this is, to be honest, we also went on the weekend. I took my wife to see a Patsy Cline musical on Friday called Always Patsy Cline. We ended up not going to New York. We ended up staying in Chicagoland and went to a Patsy Cline. And so there were a bunch of sad country songs playing for like an hour and a half while I was listening to this story. And so maybe that was affecting me. But am I being too negative? Is this like a sign of the fall of love in our culture? Or is it just some silly people cheating on the internet?
What do you think, Nancy?
First of all, how much fun. Esau's been having a great time this weekend.
Right? I just had that thought too. Geez, a Cubs game and a concert.
Patsy Cline.
Yeah, wow.
I know. Anyway, I think it's right. I think it is sad that when you see people's marriages break up, but there's just a little tiny part of you that is thankful that the wife knows.
Oh, she knows.
Yes.
You're right.
Yep,
I didn't think about that. She's
going to do well in the divorce court.
I
mean, you can't deny that.
Forgive me, I was not knee deep on the internet. But we're both
they were
married.
Both married.
So we got to give shout out to the husband too. Now he knows too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not last thing. We have Mike's Corner. Do you want to give Mike's Corner an opportunity?
Yeah, we can do that.
Give Mike's Corner a chance. Because we've actually cut Mike's Corner the last couple of episodes.
I know.
So we want to give you a chance to like step out of your mere producer role and really, I'm going to hand you the reins of the show.
Oh, goodness.
We're going to see what you can do with it. Right?
All right. Do either one of you know who Benson Boone is?
He does music. Do you know who he is?
I had never heard of this person.
He's like He's like a number one record. We're gonna sound so old to anybody under 25. But no, he has I know he wears like 70s outfits in some of his videos.
Yeah, he's a very popular pop singer.
He's big. Yeah,
yeah, big deal.
Yeah, big deal. Great job, Benson. Way to do songs.
Recently, way to do songs. Wow. Is that going to be in his obituary someday? He did Benson Boone, dead at 82. Okay. He did songs.
Did some songs. Okay.
Okay. So he partnered with Crumble Cookie to create his own custom cookie called the Benson Boone Moonbeam Ice Cream Cookie. And it's got all the flavors: cookies and cream, lemon, berry, and marshmallow.
Lemon, berry, and marshmallow?
Yes.
It sounds like a stomach ache.
As someone said, it's like
the Benson Boone tummy ache.
Eating a chocolate cookie and then chasing it with a glass of lemonade, which sounds gross. So here's what's interesting about all this. He is not the only one to do this. Lately, there have been all sorts of collaborations between celebrities and brands. So Dove has also partnered with Crumble Cookies to create a cookie-smelling deodorant, which is interesting. Sabrina Carpenter, who had that very popular song Espresso last summer, of course, partnered with Dunkin' Donuts. Jessica Gross wrote an article about this in the New York Times, and I thought she had a great paragraph where she was talking about all of this. And she goes, "I hate raising my kids in this cultural moment in which many creative triumphs are treated like branding opportunities and no prominent person ever turns down easy money. My oldest daughter should be able to love Carpenter's music without being sold so much additional merchandise. My younger daughter should be able to adore the musical Wicked without multiple branded Crocs attached. Tweens shouldn't be pressured into buying ever more unnecessary and unhealthy food because they're afraid of missing out on something that they're probably not going to enjoy anyway."
You know, the reason what made you think this was interesting? I want to give you a chance because I want to respond to it. What got you out of this? What made this Mike's Corner worthy to you? I'm going to interview you for a second.
I think my kids, my oldest is almost 7, and I see this happening to him too, that his friends talk about something going on. Yeah. And he feels like he needs it too. He needs to talk like them or do the same thing they did. Otherwise, he will be left out. Yeah. And I think we're doing this thing where we don't want to be left out. So then we participate in really dumb trends or buy dumb things that we don't like, that aren't very good, but we're just so desperate for community that we trick ourselves into thinking, I need this.
I think it's deeply cynical. I was listening to, is it Amy Poehler?
Amy Poehler?
And she has a podcast. Mm-hmm. What's her best friend on that? What's the name of the other woman who she's really good friends with? They were on SNL together.
Tina Fey.
Yeah, and they were talking about how maybe you should stop having side hustles if you're a multimillionaire. And that was the basic premise. It's like, how many side ways do you need to have to make money? Yes. Why don't you just be rich?
Yes.
And there's a sense in which I can say, at what point do you have enough of our emotional and financial attention? And if it's to the point where what you do has literally nothing to do with it at all, and you're making cookies, and it's not just Boone.
Yep.
I was thinking of like the Travis Scott had like a McDonald's like meal. There's the endless things.
Yeah, he had Happy Meals.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah.
I
went to McDonald's to get the Travis Scott Happy Meal, of course.
Okay,
wait,
why?
One second.
Right,
is that true? Did you actually do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
You are the target audience. So we're being, once again, grumpy internet people. Why did you think that you needed the Travis Scott McDonald's meal?
Happy Meal.
Yeah.
No, well, first of all, the McDonald's is awesome.
Yes.
Second of all, I also went to Crumble Cookie, and I did not get this Boone Gentleman's Cookie, but I went for the Kardashian week, which was earlier this year.
So you are the mark. You are the target of this promotion.
I am. Yeah. No, because you want to know what Kim Kardashian likes on her Crumble Cookie. And regrettably, I discovered she's a Snickerdoodles fan, which is disgusting. But Kendall liked the cookie dough. She had like a cookie dough one.
Oh, okay. So wait,
so that was getting. Kylie had the pink icing.
So you got all three different. You got all three of the Kardashian cookie crumble options. You tasted each of them.
No, Esau, I got 6. You got Kim, you got Chloe, you got Kylie, you got Courtney, you got Chris, you got Kendall. What is happening? Why are y'all not paying attention to the important matters?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know there were 6 Kardashians. Am I bad? Are there really 6?
Yeah. I mean, that's how many cookies.
Yeah. Nancy would not lie about this.
Yeah, flourless chocolate cake crumble cookies. And my thing is, why, like, okay, like if you've got, if you have children,
yes,
crumble cookies and McDonald's are not your biggest enemy. I mean, you walk into a Walmart or any place in the world, everything is branded. Every single aspect. Esau, when we're watching our little Lakers games on TV, every single part of it.
You mean like my jersey
branded.
right now has a brand on it that I'm wearing? That's totally different though, because that's the Tottenham Hotspurs. So that's totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
But Nancy, like that's true, but it's not a good thing that everything is branded, that everything is commercialized.
No, it's not. It's not good that everything is branded, but the crumble cookie
is not where we're going to draw the line.
Cross promotion. That's not the place. So it's like it's also not morally bad, and it's fun. Like I like the fact that Kylie likes pink confetti.
But do you think that's even true? I'm so cynical. I don't think that's true. I think she's like, just come up with a cookie. I don't care.
Can we pause for a second to appreciate the fact that not only did Nancy eat all 6 cookies, she remembered like what each person had. Like I have no idea. Like the fact that you said no, Kim had this one. So shout out to you for not only eating the cookie but for retaining the information. But all right, do you believe that was actually a Kardashian cookie?
So, I have to admit and disclose that I've worked with Kim Kardashian on some of my ghostwriting projects. Okay. And she's a very conscientious, amazing businesswoman.
Okay, yeah.
I guarantee you she picked out her Snickerdoodle.
Okay, then there we go.
And y'all, the cookies are good. So like you go, it's not like you're being like a part of your soul dies. You get to eat a cookie. It's good.
All right. So this brings up a good idea. I think, Nancy, you and I need to work together to come up with ideas for Esau on collaborations. Who should he be collaborating with for some brand deals to help promote the podcast? So like I had Esau, one of your popular segment ideas is Am I Washed? Yeah. I mean, clearly Esau and Tide. Yeah, Tide. We need a Tide
segment?
No, I think Tide needs to create a laundry detergent, an Esau McCullough laundry detergent. Yeah, what would it smell like, Esau?
It would smell like the I don't know, the field. Like when you because like with a soccer, it smells like a soccer. It feels like a freshly mowed soccer field. Okay. That's how your clothes smell. Yeah. So let me ask you this though. Maybe I'll put it this way, Nancy, because I want to push back on this. So I am definitely not a Kardashian or Benson Boone. But I do write and I do things publicly. Yeah. And I do have to discern, even with my tiny platform, sometimes people ask me on my Instagram page, would I be willing to certain things? Right. And I have to ask myself, because you bought my book, should I actually be selling you? One of the things they asked me, I can't put this on there, but there's a certain toy someone wanted me to promote because I have kids. And I was like, well, people trust me because I wrote about something related to race, and now that I have kids, should I now sell them this fluffy toy? And so I feel like I have some ethical responsibility to say, as a public figure, here are the things that I give away for free. I write articles, I do this podcast, but then every now and then I say, here's what I actually do. Here's the book that I write. Buy the book. And so maybe I just feel like if you've already gotten me to buy your music, maybe even if I'm a big fan of yours, I bought your t-shirt. That feels like that's fine. But at a certain point, you're now selling me McDonald's, you're selling me a cookie. Is it not enough for me to say, I have given you, celebrity, enough of my money? Is that not a fair thing to push back on? Is there no limits to commercialization?
Well, I missed the part where Kim Kardashian was holding you at gunpoint.
I'm not talking about Kim. I'm not talking about Kim. I'm talking about Benson Boone.
Anybody. Benson. I missed that part.
Okay, you're right.
Because you can say it without Crumble Cookie doing a darn thing differently.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
You just don't buy it. It's
okay,
not a
then
big deal.
I will boycott the Benson Boone cookie and my own personal protest. Okay. And then anybody else who wants to buy the cookie, it'll be left for them to do. Fair?
Fair, sure. I still don't like it, Nancy. You're right. I don't have to buy it, and I can still not like. Yeah, I agree with the author. I just hate this is what we've become in this phase of capitalism and marketing and branding. And I wish there was. I wish there was an alternative.
This is going to be the shopping episode.
Yeah.
Because
there is an alternative. Just make your own cookies.
Make your own cookies. There we go.
Nobody's hurting you by having a Crumble Cookie brand.
Maybe I'm just mad because Crumble Cookie hasn't called me.
I was just going to say, Esau,
I will sponsor. I may be undoing what I just said. I'm for sale Crumble Cookie. If you're just tossing out money and Nancy's telling me it's fine, come to me and get the.
What would your Crumble Cookie be?
The woke cookie.
The woke cookie.
Fight for racial justice by buying this chocolate chip cookie. I don't know. So here we go. So Walmart, our last story. Maybe I was hungry. I was shopping on the internet and I got all of these stories today. There was an article in the New York Times that came out in praise of Walmart. And once again, I want to toss this over to Mike. Give her like a second. It's kind of hard to articulate. What did she find so beautiful about like this store that is quintessentially Americana?
Yeah, it's hard to describe. Nancy, did you read this article too? I'm so intrigued now to hear what your take is on this. Yeah. Let me just read some of this for our listeners because it's written in poetry, essentially.
Yeah. It's like a poem to Walmart, yeah.
One of the reasons neither I nor anyone else around these big box stores can stay away from them is their particular variety of beauty. The beauty of Walmart, we might say, is Baroque, like a huge Rubens canvas that fills a wall with incredibly rich stack of colors and forms. Big box retail constructs its infinite aesthetic array out of hundreds or of thousands of brushstrokes, boxes of cereal, bags of cat food, aisles devoted to whatever holiday is next, this year's crop of dolls and Legos and rakes and baskets. Yeah, he goes on and on. In a Walmart, you can reach for practically any part of this bounty, run it across a scanner, take it home, and then eat it or wear it. And no matter how many items you wedge into your cart, you leave as many good for others. Or for your next visit. Big box retail is a gateway to infinitude.
So let me ask you this. Nancy, I have no idea what's about to happen now. Nancy, have you ever walked into Walmart and said, this is beautiful? Do you agree with the basic premise of our beloved New York Times columnist?
I love Walmart. And I recently went to a Walmart in Tennessee, in Nashville, with my son who had his new apartment.
Yeah.
And I walked in and it was so glorious. And he and I stood there and we looked at it and we said, this is amazing. We love it. I like the way it looks. I like the way it smells. I like the way it's laid out. I like the enormous aisles. I like how tall everything is. I like the greeter at the door.
Did you ghostwrite this article, Nancy?
No. The article is insane and I love it. I love that it's so hyperbolic and amazing, but I actually do love it. And I probably you may or may not know this, but David French, who's my husband, who currently writes for the New York Times, his first job was selling guns at Walmart.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. And his second job was cleaning toilets at Big Lots.
I thought he was a lawyer. I thought he was a lawyer.
No, I mean, that's what he did, like when he, his first job.
Well, he's got to start somewhere. He's got
to
start somewhere.
He didn't come out of the womb as a lawyer.
That should be from the Walmart gun rack to the New York Times, the David French story. I never thought about that. So
no.
So
wait, will David French's obituary include Walmart gun clerk?
Maybe. So headline.
Do you shop at Walmart?
I mean, yes.
Okay. Do you think it's beautiful?
No. Nancy and I, once again, we started so well, and I read this article, and then I read it again, and I was just like, this is trash.
Oh, trash. Strong. This is firing text.
I appreciate like if it was like done tongue in cheek, which I think it partially is.
Yeah.
But like Walmart is not beautiful. I mean, what, like, we should not be romanticizing Walmart.
What is it then if it's not beautiful?
Well, it pays its employees a terrible wage.
Okay.
It uses bad business practices to drive out small local businesses, and then it raises up prices afterwards.
Yeah.
Most of its goods are just low quality crap that's going to break
low
pretty
quality.
soon.
I mean, they're decent cereals.
Manufacturers will literally send Walmart an inferior product, and they need to in order to create the margins that Walmart wants.
Yeah.
And then it breaks, and you got to go back and buy it. It's like it serves a need. I'm not saying you should boycott Walmart, but
no, we're boycotting Target.
It shouldn't be romanticized.
Yeah. So let me confess, I don't go to Walmart mostly because there's not one close to me.
Yeah.
So and I'm not gonna get the moral high ground here. My vice of choice is Amazon.
Yeah.
And so I would just like the idea that I can just anything that I can think of, I can just type it into the search bar and get it. Don't yell at me. I know I'm doing better. I'm trying to resist it, but I still got the Prime membership. And it's like, you can get this by 8 a.m. the next morning. I was like, oh, great. I can just start my day with my new item. So I'm not a big go to the big box store and shop. I am a person who shops mostly online. So I don't go to Walmart very often unless there's something particular that I need. So Nancy, he just said that, despite the glories they give to Walmart, there's a lot of stuff that they do to their workers. Did that diminish the aesthetic appeal that you have when you walk in the door?
Well, I do agree. I'm not quite smart enough to understand all of the ways that the negative aspects of Walmart, including like how shopping at Walmart is different from Amazon. Is it morally or is it not? Probably not. But I think the thing that's different is if you grew up in the rural South, where Walmart was the only place, it was the only place to get clothes.
Nancy.
It was the only place to get anything.
Did your church, did your community go from Walmart to Super Walmart? Ooh. Or was it a big deal when Super Walmart dropped in? That was a thing when Super Walmart came. So go ahead, keep going.
Super Walmart is amazing. and y'all, some of y'all listening are comparing Walmart to Target, but that's not what you should compare.
No.
We're comparing Walmart to the anathema known as Kmart.
Ooh.
And I don't know if you remember Kmart, but they did not have good clothes. And so if you grew up poor without the ability to have cool clothes, I had to wear Kmart.
Yes.
And that was horrible. It was horrible. And then Walmart was better. Sears had like tough skins and stuff. So you'd be made fun of no matter what you wore.
I was about to say, like, we went to Sears, and I remember like thinking, because we had to go school shopping. So there's like 3 levels. I think Walmart was top. So I'm gonna go Kmart, Sears, Walmart as the ranking. Okay. Actually, if you want to be completely honest, if you're really down bad, occasionally you can get some clothes from Dollar General, at least the socks and t-shirts. So it's like Dollar General, Kmart.
Underwear.
Yeah. So anyways, I remember being in Sears and walking past the washing machines and the tires to go to the clothes section and thinking to myself, I know I'm going to get cooked next week in school, because there's nothing that you walk past the tire and you buy to put on your body and then wear to school. And so you're correct. That like Walmart was a place where you can sometimes get away with it, because like Walmart, you get a t-shirt that people don't know. Is that Walmart? Or is that like, like the cheap store in the mall? So like Walmart was like mall adjacent. So I will give credit to Walmart during its time of my brokedom, and it did make some of those first days of school a little bit better. So there we go.
My family.
And their clothes are a lot better than they used to be. I almost wore a Walmart shirt that I've had for 15 years. Because their clothes they're so much better than they used to be.
Yeah.
They're stylish. You could have your whole wardrobe at Walmart and look fantastic.
You know what we're gonna do?
I don't know if that's true.
You know what we're gonna do?
It is.
We're gonna ask Emerson, our social media person. We're gonna do a Walmart episode.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're gonna go. Me and you are both gonna find a fit from Walmart.
Okay.
And we're gonna bring it back and be like, who wore Walmart the best?
All right. I see. My family, we didn't buy clothes from Walmart. We did Kohl's, but with that Kohl's cash, we were like kings in Kohl's with that Kohl's cash. Just
well, I want to say this. Then it is true, and maybe this is probably a good lesson for me to think about, because it is this place where we can kind of get to our like a little bit more economically stable, and we can look down upon those companies and we have the luxury to talk about their business practices and those kinds of things. But for kids who are just trying to get through school and trying to put on a shirt that's not going to get them laughed at, I do think there's a strong value there. But I guess there's a tension between like our abstract concepts of justice and what is fair for everybody involved in the larger Walmart ecosystem, which I think is true, versus the concrete reality of the people who are living in communities where Walmart is their main access to things that are viable.
I agree.
Are we at a place of peace?
We are at a place of peace. Walmart does serve a need for.
There we go.
For some.
I feel like you broke Mike by the end of the podcast, Nancy. I like this. I need to have you on because normally he comes at me a lot, but now there's been a lot of two against Mike there.
But like I said, it started so well. We were on the same side. And it turned.
You lost me with this. Yeah. When you criticized the Lakers, Esau and I.
There we go. Yeah,
that's what it did.
There we go.
Nancy's like, I actually hate Walmart, but I just decided at that moment to disagree with you the rest of the podcast.
Nancy, now. I don't know if there's anything that I know you're working on a couple of projects that aren't public yet. Is there anything out there? I know people can go and pick up Ghosted because that's still available for sale. Is there anything else you got going on?
No, not really. But I'm working on a few things, so stay tuned. But Ghosted was just picked as the Christian Memoir of the Year of 2025.
Look at this.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Could you not tell by how holy I am? I have like a halo over here.
I've been noticing it. Are those like Bibles in the background?
I mean, basically.
No. So congratulations on Christian. What's the award?
It's the evangelical. It's called the
EFCA. I know that part. I know EFCA.
The book of the year, the memoir of the year.
Memoir of the year. So if you all don't trust the EFCA, trust me, it's a great book. Buy it. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And we'll be waiting with bated breath for your next book announcement. I've heard about it, and I want you all to know when you all hear about it, you're going to be excited for it too. And Mike, do you have anything that you want to promote?
I will say.
What are you working on, Mike?
Sign up for Holy Post Plus.
There we go.
That's what I promote. Holy Post Plus subscription helps me, and you get to check out Esau's 66 verses, more like passages to explain the Bible, which is fantastic.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Esau McCauley podcast. We will see you all next week. The Esau McCauley podcast is a production of Holy Post Media, produced by Mike Stay Low, Stray Low. If you know, now you know. Edited by Seth Gorvette, like a Corvette. Music by Rob Knorr. Make sure to follow the show wherever you get your podcast and leave a review so more people can find it. See you next time. I'm out.